Hello everybody, welcome to another snapshot video. Today's snapshot brings minor additions to villages and the game in general, bug fixes, and another iron farm nerf. So let's take a look at the villages first. The farmer villages are now in general able to farm again. Although I'm not seeing it right now. I have this village running for 2 hours now. In the beginning they definitely also were farming crops, so placing seeds and harvesting later and sharing the food afterwards. But it seems right now that they've stopped. But it definitely does work again. What still doesn't work is villager breeding. There are a few baby villagers right now, but they're just from using spawn eggs. So like last week, sometimes you see the hard particles, villagers try to breed, but it just doesn't work, you don't get any baby villagers. Then a mechanic got added to the game. Baby villagers are now roaming around in groups, so they are supposed to play. Similar, like for example the court that forms schools, they also now run around. Not sure if the same AI is used. It's actually quite funny. Not sure if this is time-based. They also run into the woods, and hopefully they would also come back. I've seen it. Right now they don't do much. There we go. There's now a group forming, and they run around in group form. At night they also would pathfind back to their beds. Let's also take a look at trading. So it seems like you can trade more often now with certain trades. For example, you can now trade 8 bread. Last week pretty much every type of trade was limited to either 1 or 4. And now for example you can trade 8 bread. Also 8 apples is possible before they would lock. What still doesn't work is the trade locking correctly, at least on a multiplayer server. So if we would open it back up again, then it's unlocked again. In single player last week, that didn't unlock at all. So I'm not quite sure what's going on there or why this wasn't fixed this week. Also a new block was added to the game. This is cut sandstone in yellow and red. This probably looks quite familiar, similar to the old smooth sandstone. But smooth sandstone looks like this now. You can get this by smelting sandstone. You can get the cut sandstone by combining 4 sandstone. Same goes for the red. There's also a cut sandstone slab. It looks like this. And in total we have now 3 different sandstone slabs for yellow and red. So this is the cut sandstone slab, normal sandstone slab, and smooth sandstone slab. There is no smooth sandstone stair, as far as I know. No, there are even. But what's missing is the cut sandstone stairs. Anyway, there's quite a lot of sandstone now in the game, but they probably forgot to add the cut sandstone stairs this time. And then there's another kinda slab-related change in the game. This was pointed out by Everscreen today on the Reddit, where I got it from. If you crouch, the hitbox changes, and now you're 1.5 blocks tall. That means you can limbo under top slabs. So you got 1.5 blocks space in between. Also, you might have noticed that the eye level also gets changed, and it immediately gave me an idea that you can now probably place 3 blocks down in the survival mode. In creative mode you have the higher reach, but this also now works in normal survival mode. So usually you couldn't place down from 3 blocks above, but now if you crouch, it's possible. I also got a little correction to the video from yesterday about the OP armor. Seems like I'm not 100% familiar how it works. So I got it wrong, a lot of people pointed it out. It is definitely possible to put 9 enchantments on boots, and it's actually not that hard. You just have to do it with the pyramid system, including the boots. So I'm just gonna show you that it is possible. In normal survival mode, got normal diamond boots. So we're gonna start by putting 1 enchantment on the boots. Then we're just gonna keep combining books and basically doing it in a pyramid system. I think this way it's cheaper. Okay, now we need to combine the boots here with the second book. Then we're gonna combine those. Then we're gonna put this book on the boots, I think, or is it the other way around? Not entirely sure anymore. In our last step, put this book on the boots, and it's only costed 25 levels. And as you can see, we got 9 enchantments on the diamond boots. Yeah, this is about the new system that I mentioned in yesterday's video. You can now have blast protection, fire protection, feather falling, normal protection, basically everything normal diamond boots. So also the armor pieces, it's no longer mutually exclusive, and apparently also this is working as intended. Okay, this is pretty bizarre. Look at that penguin swimming. Not sure what's going on, but this is definitely looking funny right now. Let's take a look at villagers sleeping next. This was partially fixed, I would say. Still looks a bit odd if you look at this, but at least now most of the villagers would make their way into a bed. Last week only a handful of villagers would have correctly slept in a bed. Now this at least got improved, but it's still a bit odd. For example, this one sleeping higher than usual, but yeah, this definitely got better. Next topic would be iron farm mechanics or golem spawn mechanics. The first change is that unemployed or nitwit villagers are no longer able to spawn golems, and additionally there were 2 requirements added to the game which kind of nerf iron farms even more than previously. So the first condition is that villagers must have slept in the last 24,000 ticks, that's 1 Minecraft day, in order to be able to spawn a golem, and additionally they must have worked in the last 36 hours to be able to spawn a golem. So that means you can no longer just put a ton of villagers in a 1x1 space, wait for them to spread gossip. Now they kind of have to follow a certain work or day cycle. So I'm gonna try to explain why those changes now nerf iron farms even more. Golem spawning is based on villagers spreading gossip as they do right now. Talk to each other. If they have shared gossip with, I think, 9 other villagers, they are able to spawn a golem. Of course, if they're sleeping, they don't share gossip, and this definitely cuts into the rates. The more time they have to share gossip, the better, of course. And we now lose 11 hours because they're sleeping. They're quite lazy, they actually sleep 11 hours per day, from tick 13,000 to 24,000. That's the first point. Then, of course, they also have to go to their workplaces and are not able to spread gossip with as many villagers as before. Probably also cuts into rates a little bit, which you can maybe later improve, try to make better iron farms. Might also be later possible to maybe force the villagers out of their bed and force them to spread gossip, because it counts as sleeping if the villagers enter a bed. What's, for example, possible is that you can fish a villager out. That's one mechanic, how the player could have forced a villager out of the bed again. Maybe there's also something we could do in order to automate this process. We'll see, but yeah, it seems like iron farms will be at least not as fast as in last week's snapshot. So next I want to answer the question by how much iron farming has actually been nerfed now with the new village mechanics, and I would say it's actually 99.8%. In 1.12 I could make an iron farm that pretty much uses all the server performance and produces 100,000 iron ingots per hour. Now it seems like in the current snapshots that number is now closer to 200 to 250. So here we got in total 40 villagers, and it's actually already using quite a lot of performance, and there's not much iron golem spawning going on. So we have to see, maybe we do make more discoveries, how we could improve the farms, but it definitely at the moment seems like iron farming might no longer be viable at all. And we might need to look into other alternatives. For example, zombies also drop iron ingots if they're killed by a player. There's a rare drop. I'm quite sure you could actually make a mob farm that is based on killing zombies that might be faster than a villager-based iron farm by now. So it definitely doesn't look good for iron farms right now. And definitely have to ask the question if those village changes were actually worth it. If you look at a normal village, pretty much looks the same as before. Of course, it looks a bit nicer now, but the actual villagers now, still wander around pretty much aimlessly. It's not more lively at all. So they go from their bed to their workplaces, and that's pretty much it. So if you look superficially on a village, you don't even notice much of a difference. So you got those walking vending machines, that now go from point A to B to C, and that's it. So I'm not really sure if this mechanic with the pathfinding couldn't have been implemented into the old village system. There were also quite a lot of bug fixes this week, but nothing really caught my attention. Maybe to mention one, last week if you bought a suspicious stew from a villager, the effect only lasted a very short amount of time. This got fixed this week, but the mistake was that somebody mistook seconds and ticks. So instead of lasting, for example, if you had a speed suspicious stew 8 seconds, it only lasted 8 ticks or 0.4 seconds. This also now got fixed in today's snapshot. But that's all for this week's snapshot. Thanks so much for watching. See you next week. Bye bye.